But technology in the larger perspective is an advancement in communication and handling of information which enables the government, organization, industries, and ordinary individuals to improve on their decision making, business processes, and everyday living. So, technology is something essential in the daily processes of the people nowadays. So, meron tayong dalawang terms that we often confuse. So, if you are a TVL track or the TechVoc track under the ICT department in your senior high, or if you have been into the subject in STEM, yung the ICT, something related with computers, alam niyo nang ibig sabihin nito. So, meron tayong dalawang terms that we often confuse. One is the ICT and IT. Ano nga bang pagkakaiba ng dalawa? So, to make it short, ICT and IT are two connecting terms. So, information and communication technology, information and communication coincide with one another. Information technology, rather, is a subset of the ICT. Kumbaga, ang pinakamalawak na term to use is the ICT. Okay, but IT is just a subset of this what we call ICT. Now, well, I think the history of computer is a very vague and a very ambiguous topic to begin with without really researching the thorough history of computing. So, a computer, natin, a computer's basic function is to compute before. So, nag-umpisa lahat yan sa pag-discovery ng abacus. O yan, abacus, and the abacus is a tool used to compute para mas madali. And then, nagkaroon sila ng confusion yung mga tao noon na, gusto namin magkaroon ng mas comprehensive at mas mabilis na system ng pagko-compute. So, na-invent itong computer. Okay, so the history of computer could be in your module. Pwede nyo siyang basahin, but I will also be giving you link para mas maintindihan nyo siya. But then, ito yung pinaka-summary niya. So, meron tayong 5 generation ng computer. The first generation uses, vacuum tubes. Yun ang keyword. The first generation computer uses vacuum tubes. Ganito po sila kalalaki. Isang computer, it could fill up the whole room. Okay, that was during the 1940s to 1950s. Ayan. The second generation, however, natuto na silang gumamit ng transistors. So, kung dati sobrang laki niya, sobrang bagal, nagkaroon naman ngayon ng transistors. Napalitan nila, medyo bumilis ng konti, pero mabagal pa rin. So, gumamit sila ng transistors in the second generation computers, pero malalaki pa rin. So, if you look at the photo, ganyan po kalaki. Mas malaki pa sa washing machine ninyo yung second generation computers. And then the third generation computer, medyo natuto na silang gumamit ng mga integrated circuits. Ayan na. So, natuto na silang gumamit ng motherboard na medyo nagawa na nila ng paraan. That was the 1963 to 1970s. Ayan, to 1970s. Ang computer during this time, integrated circuits na ang gamit nila. So, the size is small compared to the second generation computers, and it is faster than the second generation computers. Okay, the fourth generation, however, is more powerful, dense, and reliable, and inexpensive. Ito na yon, fourth generation. Siguro during the 1980s to 1990s, ayan, gumagamit na sila ng VLSI or Very Large Scale Integrated Circuits. Ito na yon, meron na siyang 5,000 transistors and other elements to complete the motherboard. So, mas naging mas bumilis na. Pero, ang storage processes nito, the storage function is still little compared sa meron ngayon. And the fifth generation, as we have now, is the uses AI or artificial intelligence na. So, they use the ultra large scale integration or ULSI technology to manufacture the microprocessor. Gumagamit na ng microprocessor. And nandito tayo sa fifth generation of computer. So, kung makikita natin, we cannot undo technology. If you look at it in the perspective of history, pausad, hindi natin pwedeng gawin na Control Z ang technological advancement and innovation sa mundo. Pwede lang tayong magkaroon ng pausad na notion about technology, but we cannot go back, and no one would want to go back during the times na primitive pa yung ating pamumuhay. Except, I do recommend, though I'm not an otaku, but I do recommend for you to also watch the impact of technology in the life of the people nowadays. I do recommend to watch the Dr. Stone. It is an anime kung saan makikita natin yung kumbaga ano siya post-apocalyptic na nangyari. From the very advanced technology na meron tayo ngayon, what would happen if bigla na lang huminto ang mundo at mapabayaan natin yung technological advancement, mawala ang mga tao, mawala yung knowledge about technology, and then somewhere sooner, after thousands of years, mabuhay ka with, mabuhay talaga na from the knowledge of technology na meron tayo, wala kang magamit. It is because napabayaan yung mundo in this post-apocalyptic fiction. So, ayun, panoorin nyo siya. Maganda siya for me. Okay, so yun. But if we imagine, also, one thing to imagine is the future of technology. Before, hindi naman natin in-imagine or hindi naman natin in-expect na magkakaroon ng touchscreen. Before, yung mga tito ninyo, sayang-saya na sila dun sa mga 3310, yung now existing na Nokia phones. Ngayon, wala na yung mga keypad phones natin. Lahat tayo naka-touchscreens na. Or some, meron pa namang keypad. Pero, majority of the people naka-touchscreen na or naka-smartphones na. But imagine na lang natin, yung 6th generation of computer, they uses virtual space. Okay, one of the movies I recommend you to watch is the Ready Player One. Yan, yung mga ganyan. Marami tayong mga movies related to the advancement of technologies. Ayan, so, yun na. Ang maganda dun sa Ready Player One, sa sobrang addict ng mga tao sa laro at sa sobrang gulo ng mundo, isa mga movies na nire-recommend ko din sa inyo to know the impact of technology. Dito sa Ready Player One, as I watched it in the movie and nabasa ko siya bago ko siya panoorin It is about the world wherein people get tired, napagod na sila. Napagod na ang mga tao sa pag-intindi ng lipunan sa mga problema na meron tayo sa totoong buhay. So, na-invento or nagkaroon ng advancement sa technology kung saan pwede sila makapaglaro, they can virtually enjoy their lives, and then iba yung environment. So, in this virtual environment, you can be whoever you want. Okay, you are not totally and physically be able to die, and then pwede kang yumaman actually kasi virtual world siya. So, it's not totally about gaming or the fantasy itself, but the effect of escapade. Gustong makatakas ng tao sa realidad. Kaya nagkaroon ng virtual space during this time. So, maybe it is fiction. This movie is a fiction, but then, merong katotohanan doon na inaisip na ngayon ng mga pioneers sa technology yung mga possible ways to utilize the virtual space. Specifically, kapag nagkaroon na ng overpopulation sa mundo, and then medyo chaotic na talaga, nagkaroon ng World War III, hindi natin alam kung ano-ano dun. Another recommendation for technological advancement is the movie The Mortal Engines. Post-apocalyptic din siya. So, iyon. Try to watch them if you have time. There are 4 main components of computer naman. So, we have the input, output, or the IOSS, Input, Output, System Unit, and the Storage Unit. Okay, so, alam na natin yung computer. We can, hindi pa naman kayo primitibo para hindi makakita ng computer. And then, andyan na, you can read the definition. So, we have the computer, hardware, and then software. Pag sinabi natin hardware and software, yung software, ito yung mga ini-install virtually. Yung hardware, ito yung mga parts of the computer that can be seen, that can be touched. But when we say software, ito yung ini-install lang natin using the .exe or the .apk, mga parts of the computer or the system na hindi mo siya mahahawakan or makikita. That's the software. So the components of the computer are the following. You have the keyboard. It accepts symbols, letters, and commands from the user. Yung mouse, they are functioning to select options on on-screen menus. Microphone, scanner, digital camera, or PC video camera, and you all know that. Okay? Output devices naman. Pag sinabi natin input devices, ayan, input devices, these are the devices that are used to enter or send data into the server. But when we say output, they are, okay, the receiving, any hardware component that transmit information to one or more people. So, kumbaga, they revert back the message that you send. For halimbawa, pag sinabi natin input, take for example, gumawa ako ng letter, nagsulat ako ng letter, addressed to Rizal, ayan, because Rizal is my lover. The input would be the pen, the paper that I use, the message, and the medium used for that letter. And then the output would be, okay, the letter coming from Rizal na ibibigay sa akin, galing dun sa na-receive niyang message sa akin. So, magre-revert back sa akin. Ito yung return. For example, printer, monitor. Ibig sabihin, monitor and speaker. Halimbawa, nagkaroon ka ng input, ipasok mo, and then the output would be the outcome. Halimbawa, you have been able to type a text in the Microsoft Word, and then you want to print it. The printer is na-receive niya yung message mo, meron kang Microsoft Word, meron kang na-type doon, and then magkakaroon siya ng output, which is ayun, yung message na ibinigay mo sa kanya. So, it has the impact printer and the non-impact. Ayun, medyo ano na yan. Don't have to merely focus on that. Also, you have the monitor. Meron tayong tatlong uri ng monitor. Evolution din ito. So, one is the CRT, followed by the LCD and LED. Sa panahon ninyo, usually ang ginagamit na natin yung LED or the light emitting diode. Pero, meron pa rin, mga ilan na LCD ang gamit. Sa mga televisions natin, yung medyo nandito pa tayo sa era kung saan pwede pa tayong gumamit ng mga LCD or the liquid crystal display. But before, yung cathode ray tube, ito yung mga malalaking mga monitor. Yung sobrang laki pa niya at meron pang parang square, para siyang box type. Okay, so ganyan. Ang maganda sa LED, okay, is that it emits diode or yung medyo hindi masyadong malaki yung pag-emit niya ng radiation. Kasi itong CRT or yung cathode ray tube and liquid crystal display or the CRT and LCD, medyo mataas yung pag-acquire nila ng radiation. Kaya ngayon, uso na itong paggamit ng LED para hindi masyadong maaksaya sa kuryente at maaksaya sa horsepower. Okay, so speaker, ayan, the input would be your voice, the output would be, ayun, kung ano yung nilalabas ng speaker na voice output. Okay, so those are the components of the output. Ayan, the system unit. Itong system unit, usually, in latter terms, ito yung motherboard. Ayan, nandito yung motherboard. Sometimes it is called the compute case or the tower. Ito yung pinaka-importante. Kumbaga, 90% of the parts of your computer makikita natin sa motherboard. So, diyan nakakabit lahat ng mga input and output devices natin. And then, yung mga importanteng mga functioning system ng computer. So, the storage devices would be, a place to hold the program files and all the related files when they are not in use or kept permanently. One trivia, in your computer or laptops, meron tayong tinatawag na recycle bin. If we wanted to delete these items, we just have to put it in the recycle bin. Pero, ang isa sa mga trivia na kailangan nating i-take into consideration is that your recycle bin does not permanently delete your files, but rather, napupunta ito sa mga storage devices sa hard drive mismo ninyo. Okay. So, paano yun? Ma'am, na-delete na namin, tapos hindi na namin sila ma-retrieve. Yes, hindi na ninyo sila ma-retrieve kung sinabi ninyong permanently delete, pero hindi siya totally na-delete sa system. Nandun pa rin siya sa tinatawag nating storage devices, and they are permanently stored. Take note of that, permanently. Ayan. That is why, kapag bumibili tayo ng mga second-hand computers, alam natin na yung mga storage devices niya, meron na siyang initially na stored na capacity doon, na meron na siyang na stored na mga data doon. So, konti na lang yung pwede natin ilagay. Siyempre, meron mga limitation yung mga storage capacity kung hanggang ilang RAM lang or yung gigabyte lang yung kaya niyang i-store. So, why are computers powerful? Because of the speed, because of the reliability and consistency, accuracy, communication, and then garbage in, garbage out. But all in all, you may read this all you want, pero computers are powerful because they make life easier, faster, and accessible. Okay. So, there are general classifications of computers. Supercomputers, meron din tayong supercomputers, yun yung ginagamit sa NASA. Yung kumbaga, they are functioning in a multiprocessing attitude kung saan kaya nilang pagsabay-sabayin at mapaka-complicated ng kanilang mga functions. Okay. So, we have the mainframe computers also, mini computers, and then microcomputers. You don't need to memorize these things. All you have to do is understand. And then the embedded computers. I will link you a video on the explanation of these types because aminin ko naman na I'm not an IT expert. Okay, so to give you a further discussion on this, I will link you a video na mas maiintindihan ninyo kasi kung kaya ko namang ipaliwanag pero tingin ko hindi niyo ako maiintindihan. So mas maganda ng merong visualization kung paano nag-work itong computers na ito. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for more updates and stay tuned for more videos to come in this particular course. Thank you.